everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be kind of weird and kind of different, but that's because I was going to do this at the way start, but I started my channel like in April, I think, and that's when I was like, okay, this didn't work out, so I'm just going to wait till the end of the year and just blow this out of proportion, and why not? So I'm pretty sure you guys are very well aware that Stan Twitter always has White Boys of the Month. And so I thought last year, 2018, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just kept track of mine and just talk about them? Well, I did it, and when I started YouTube, I was like, dude, this would be a great video, like, idea if I just talked about why I love this white dude for this month. And now that I'm recording this, I'm like, maybe this isn't a good idea. Anyways, I wrote them down on sticky notes. And let me tell you, they're beat up. This has grease on it because I'm disgusting, and let me tell you, this desk is just the most disgusting thing. If you guys have seen my vlogs, you guys have probably seen glimpses of it, but I'm telling you, it's a mess. Over here, there's food, drinks, and just a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be here. But anyways, I'm gonna start with my White Boy of the Month in January. So, in January, a film called Glass came out. And this actor was doing a lot of press for it, and so me, being me, I was like, ooh, spicy, saucy, I love him. And you know, I like this actor, so it's not like, it was like, oh, I just discovered this new actor. I know who this guy is. It's James McAvoy. I just think he's beautiful. He's a beautiful man. I love him, and that's basically it. And I liked him, and it also didn't help that he was in It Chapter 2, so then I just went there too. James McAvoy was my white man of that month just because I thought he was great. His hair when he was doing press was so beautiful. Anyways, I just think he's fantastic. And then in February, a little thing called the Oscars was premiering, and he performed this song with Lady Gaga, and when I watched it, I just went, like my whole, my soul left my body, and I came back and I was like, ooh, I love this guy. And it's Bradley Cooper. And then I watched A Star is Born. I started to watch a couple of his movies. I watched interviews with him, and I was like, oh, I like Bradley. I was like, ooh. And I just got really into him. I mean, it's still there. I love A Star is Born so much. It's great. It's a great movie. Bradley Cooper was my White Boy of the Month in February. And in March, this guy was a villain for that film. And it's Jude Law. I already had a crush on Jude Law, like, let's say December 2018, and it kind of translated, but then, you know, McAvoy came in and just was like, move, Jude!
You're so greedy.
Yeah, I know. I want to
Jude has that, by the way.
I'm gonna kill him.
Okay.
I loved yon-rogg so much, and I was like, oh my god, like, I just thought Jude Law was perfect. I watched a lot of his movies, so after that, so I was really in it in March. And I think Jude Law is still beautiful, but April, it was Theo James. He was in I don't even know what the show was called, everyone was just talking about it on Twitter, and he just played like a Mr. Darcy type, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I was just transported back to the whole Divergent era, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, how did I forget about Theo James? So I just had a little moment with him in April, and then in May, I don't know actually how this happened. I think Dark Phoenix came out, and then I rewatched all the X-Men films, and then this guy, and then I was like, oh, he's nerdy, but he's cute, and I'm into it, so then I watched a couple more of his films. You know, you watch interviews, you follow them on social media, you go through it, and that was me with Nicholas Hoult. I was just really in it, and I was like, oh, he's just a little cutie pie in X-Men, and so when Dark Phoenix came out, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in it, and it was just great. I think Nicholas Hoult is beautiful, and I wanted to watch one of his films, and I just didn't. But I did watch Rebel in the Ryan. I thought he looked great with brown contacts. It was amazing. So good. So good to me. And in June, I don't know how this happened. I mean, I'm guessing it was like everyone just started talking about him, like in the It fandom. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of see what y'all are doing here. And I was like, I'm into it. And it's Andy Bean. So he played Stanley Uris in It Chapter 2. And there was a lot of press going on for it during the Comic-Con time. And so, like, during that, I was like, oh, he's beautiful. And then Swamp Thing came out, and he was just, like, beautiful. And he's just a beautiful person. I love his face. And, yeah, Andy Bean is great. And in July, this was also during the whole Comic-Con thing. So it was like 1-for-1 with Andy. It's Jay Ryan. Oh, he's so beautiful. I love him so much. Oh, my God, you guys. I love Jay. So he plays Ben Hanscom, and I still love him. Like, he's still here with me, and I love him so much. Please give him the credit he deserves, because everyone was like fangirling over Bill Hader and James Ransome, but it's like Jay Ryan was literally the hot guy they casted, and no one paid attention to him. So I gave him all the love in July, I mean. And then, and then in August, I don't even know where this guy came from. He just appeared, I think. And then I was like, oh, he's cute. So then, you know, like, you know how I write stories? And I like to fan cast people? I wrote a story and I fan casted him in it, and I just thought it was great. And no smut. I don't know how to write that stuff, so don't be like, oh, she's writing smut. No, I don't know how to do that, because, ew, I just don't, I'm not into that kind of stuff. But, yeah. So, that story's scrapped, because obviously August was a long time ago, and it's, wait, I didn't even say who it was! It's Milo Ventimiglia. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Anyways, but he's beautiful, and then I think it was one award season he went to, and I still think he's beautiful, and he's great. I just haven't seen anything he's in. I've only seen him in Gilmore Girls, but I never liked his character in Gilmore Girls. So, and that didn't change even when I went through that White Boy of the Month phase, and yeah. And then in September, this one is an odd one. I think just because, no, I was not attracted to anyone, so I was like, okay, I like this dude. I wouldn't say that he was my White Boy of the Month, but I'll say I appreciated him in the month of September, and that was Xavier Dolan. Obviously, he's, like, gay, so nothing there could happen, but you get what I mean. It's like, I just appreciated him, and I haven't seen any of his films because they're not available here, because he's a filmmaker from I don't know where. So none of his stuff is available here, except for like the things he did in America, like It Chapter 2 and Bad Times at the El Royale. But I just think he's great. Like, it wasn't like a thirst thing, like with me, with everyone else. I'm sorry, it's true. It's just not with Xavier Dolan. I just thought he was great. So like, that's just someone who was on my mind a lot. And in October, I don't know, okay, so he came out in a film with Disney in Maleficent. But then, when, like, he just came back, when he was hidden away in the basement, I decided to watch Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and I was like, oh my god, Mr. Darcy! And it's Sam Riley. I just think he's such a beautiful man. Like, I love him. I've been a fan of him for a really long time. I watch everything he's in. I haven't seen Maleficent 2, though, because I don't watch movies anymore. All my feelings came back for him, because I always go through a Sam Riley phase. Let's get real, we all do. And I just think he's beautiful, and I love it. And in November, this guy came out in a film, a pretty little film, that I actually really like. I think it's like in my top 5 movies, or top 10. And I don't know, when I saw him, I was like, oh, he's cute. He has like a little nerdy look to him. And then I watched the movie he was in, and he played that part well. And he hasn't been in much. He's only been like in a couple of Disney films. But his name is Mitchell Hope. He was in Let It Snow. He was in Descendants. I just thought he was just a cute Australian kid, so I was like, why not? And that's it. I followed him on social media. I haven't seen any of his other movies other than Let It Snow. But yeah, it was just a short little thing, and I liked it because he's a little cutie. And for December, this happens every Star Wars that comes out. Adam Driver. I don't even have to explain it. The man is beautiful. I love him. He's full anime, and I love him. He's so thick, and for what? Like, I could go on about Adam, but I don't want to. But he's just a beautiful man. Anytime a Star Wars comes out, when The Force Awakens came out, I was like, who is this man? And then I watched all his things. I watched a couple scenes from Girls, and you know, if you've seen Girls, you know. I'd seen movies of his, and I watched all of his movies that came out this year. I've seen Marriage Story, I've seen The Force Awakens, I watched The Report yesterday, just so I can say I watched it in 2019. I literally got an Amazon Prime account so that I could watch The Report. So if you guys don't know, it's just that, like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if I was like falling in love with someone this December and it wasn't Adam would just come in and just like push them away and like shove them away, and he's like, hello, because literally no matter what, no matter who I think I like, Adam Driver just comes in and just like gets them out of the way, because I don't know what he does to me, but I'm just like, oh my god, I love this guy so much. He's just so different from every single actor that I'm like, wow. That's it. I'm sorry this video was like bad, but I thought this was gonna be a fun video, but it's just me talking about how much I think those white guys are pretty. And they all are very beautiful. And that's it. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this. I'm sorry. This is so embarrassing, but I had fun. Anyways, I'm gonna go watch Inside Llewyn Davis for Oscar Isaac and Adam, okay? Bye!